Morning, everyone. Today's session is going to be amazing because we are going to learn the gist of how to find our purpose and related things from a fantastic blend corresponding to a concept that we learn in Ikigai, which is a Japanese based method and something that we can learn from a presentation which our faculty Ruchi Bajaj Mam will present, that is pertaining to that of Bhagvat Geeta. So let's get started. Anyone wants to add anything, you can.
Yes, so we had a session like everybody was interested in understanding what is Ikigai. So Ikigai is the Japanese concept, and we are going to also look at a little more higher concept that the Bhagavad Gita gives about it in this today's session.
Yep, it's going to be interesting. So let's get started.
All right.
थोड़ा देखा वो जो वीडियो डाला था ना, so some basic understanding about.
ठीक. Okay, Gaurav, hello.
Hello, ma'am. Good morning.
Good morning. So we will start with Ikigai, and what we're going to do is Ikigai is a Japanese concept, but what I have done is understood its what would you say counterpart or even its origin from the Bhagavad Gita. और हमारे संस्कृति में मतलब from Bhagavad Gita क्या बोलते हैं इसके बारे में about finding the mission of life. So we'll be doing that today. तो पहले हम we'll hear from the three of you whatever is your understanding of Ikigai and why are you even interested in a topic like this. ठीक है?
Yes.
So Pranjal,
No,
you
I
can
guess-
start recording now if you want.
I guess we can start at 10:05 so that more people can join.
And join, okay. You think more are going to join? Morning है ना
I
तो पता नहीं. Morning का पता नहीं होता मुझे इतना.
हाँ.
अभी 10 बजे तो अभी 10 तो बहुत लेट हुआ.
हाँ. आर्किटेक्चर स्टूडेंट्स के लिए पता नहीं. हमारा दिन स्टार्ट होता है रात के 2 बजे 3 बजे तो फिर सुबह 8-9 बजे तो हम लोग सो रहे होते हैं ना. एनीवेज ठीक है. So I've just given you how we'll do it today. We'll talk about what did you all understand about Ikigai and what are you basically looking at. Ikigai क्यों सीखना है आपको? All three of you all or anybody who else joins can give talk on this. Then we will talk about Ikigai from the Japanese concept and then we will talk about Ikigai from the Bhagavad Gita concept. ठीक है? That's how we'll do it. So whenever we are ready, आप में से जिसको start करना है can start.
मैम लेट जाएगा भैया start.
Okay.
ठीक है. गौरव भैया, we can start.
Yes, ma'am. So should I keep the camera on? Okay.
Yes.
Pranjal, tell when you are done with the recording part.
I've started. Go on.
I'm not very knowledgeable person about this, but still. So when I was thinking about this topic, first the primary thought that came to my mind was the questions that you have put. So I saw everyone has seen this movie called Three Idiots. So the basic one-liner if we have to take away from that movie is you should do what you love or you should do what you want to. So the three characters in that movie. So one of them is trying to become a photographer. His passion is in that. Another is telling him that how he should follow what he loves and not what he is actually told to do by others. So basically he's finding the reason for his being. So if we search this word Ikigai, so that basically means that you must find a reason for your being or you must find a reason for your living. So it's a Japanese concept and there the people use this as a formula for a happy life. So I guess there is not a single formula for everyone, a short formula that everyone can follow, but there are certain parameters that everyone can go through and they can follow certain steps so that they can find their own answers. So Ikigai doesn't gives you a short answer. It gives you what question you should ask. So basically it is also important that what question we ask, because many a times the questions are wrong and so we can't find answers. So there are 4 questions that we need to ask according to the Ikigai, and that will lead to the answers that we are finding for. So there are certain things like, first is what you love. So there are many things that we love. There are many things we love, and also there are many things that we want to do. They can be correlated, both of them. Like some things you love to do and that pays for you, love to do and you actually want to do. But there are certain things that world needs from you, because there are things that you will do, but the world needs to pay you for that so that you can earn your living. So these certain things that you want to do in life, so they are correlated. And how these certain things we want to do in life, so we must find that particular answer for that, because we we know that we have a single life, and uh, we need to uh, we need to live that non-accidentally. Because most of the people, they do is आया दिन और करो जो करना है करो. मतलब जो भी करना है वो उनके दिमाग में कुछ फिक्स नहीं है कि मतलब भगवान ने दिया है दिन तो निकाल देते हैं कैसे भी. So that must not be the case. So if we also see in the Japan, so the life expectancy of their people is more. So why is that? Not because of certain genes or something, because they live a happy life. And why they live a happy life? Because they are doing what they want to do and not what is told to be done. So I think if we do certain things that we love, that we want to do, what the world needs from us, and what thing that will pay us, so not just spiritually, but it will sustain us materially also, so that we can follow in the long run, we can follow what we love. So that was the basic understanding that I had. Yes.
Yes, thank you. Very nice. But why do you think why are we interested in this topic? Why are you interested in this topic, Gaurav?
Because most of the teenagers, 99% of them, they find one question, that what is the purpose of my life.
Correct.
So that is the main question that we are getting in this age.
Yes, because we are in this age of 15 to 20 is the time when we are deciding our career, we are deciding our direction in life, the ism we want to follow. So Vijnanamay Kosh mein hai aap log. We spoke about it in Panchakosha. Vijnanamay Kosh is when we decide what is right, what is wrong, what should I do, the direction of our life. So that's why I think this is a good time to take this question. Ki, what is the purpose of my life? Okay, thank you, Gaurav. Thank you for that. Any of you all want to say anything else about Ikigai का जो आपको समझ आया या आप क्यों ये टॉपिक में इंटरेस्टेड हैं? Who's M11? M11 कौन है?
मीरा.
Okay. तो any of you all ये टॉपिक आपको क्यों इंटरेस्ट लग रहा है? सुनना क्यों है? प्रांजल?
Yes, ma'am. So I chose this because I have a taste for Japan. So it makes me connect there. I want to learn about it. Yes. और ये classroom भी Japanese classroom दिख रही है. I'm liking this.
All right. So Ikigai, the word is really stylish because it's a word we don't know. It's not coming from our known words. So we would like to know what is Ikigai, right? Tejas, Meera, Asmita, anyone? Yeah, Tejas?
Yes, ma'am. So, ma'am, it is really fascinating that how those people live and
Sorry to
how they.
interrupt. Tejas, camera on करो ना.
Yes,
Meera, Asmita, camera on करो ना if possible. If possible, huh?
Yeah.
Am I visible?
No. Now you are. Okay.
Yes. So it's really fascinating to understand that how those people live, and we have our principles of living life, but in other countries how they are related with us. That is really fascinating to know. So that's why I am interested to learn about Ikigai.
Okay.
I want to add
It's a new concept, so I don't know. Yeah. Okay.
मैम,
Yes.
जापानीज पीपल आर वेरी डिसिप्लिन्ड एंड जो जिस सिस्टमैटिक मैनर के में उनकी एक्टिविटीज होती है, जिस हिसाब से उन्होंने प्रोग्रेस किया है, उसके पीछे कुछ ना कुछ एक ऐसे प्रोसेस है, एंड आई फील कि दिस विल एक्चुअली गाइड अस एज वेल टू वर्क इन दैट मैनर, हेंस वो भी एक रीजन, दे आर वेरी
Okay. Yes.
डिसिप्लिन्ड पीपल.
Yes, Japanese people live on principles. Okay, they don't follow. They put principles over pleasures. तो उसकी वजह से वो disciplined हैं. And there is a philosophy of life. They live by some philosophy. So that's why. So it's also Japanese also, like the Indians, the Bharatvarsh. We have a philosophy on which we are supposed to live. We don't just live for the sake of enjoying and live life king size. ऐसा कुछ हमारा इंडियन कॉन्सेप्ट भी नहीं है. It's basically live for sake of some mission or purpose in life. So good. So we'll start with what I've understood of Ikigai, what I live by, what I have understood it from the Bhagvat Gita. Bhagavad Gita talks about something like this, but not very directly. So today we'll see that. So I'll start sharing my screen. Before that, I want all of you all to take a piece of paper and a pen and start writing answers for these 4 questions that I had asked you. So, what do you like? What do you love to do? What do you love to do? What do you what are you good at? सिर्फ questions लिख लो, answers बाद में लिखना. What are you good at? What can I get paid for? What can I do for the world that I'll get paid for doing? And what does the world need? So I was sitting that day and my PPT बना रही थी, तो my little niece was there with me. She's only 6 years old and she was like many of y'all, ये word क्या है, ये ikigai क्या होता है? I've never heard this ikigai. What is ikigai? So then I was trying to tell her in a very kid-sized manner and showing her some videos. There was one video in which they talk about this concept of okay, there's this lady, the lady was asked, who are you? So she said, I'm the mayor's wife. So then they said, we're not asking you whose wife you are. Tell us, who are you? So then she said, I am the mother of 3 very beautiful children. Again, we're not asking you your family life. Tell us something more. So then she said, okay, I'm a school teacher. And so something more, that's your profession. What more about you? Then she said, well, I actually have a very strong inclination for children because I want to groom them into becoming very beautiful citizens. They should become good citizens of this country, of this world. And therefore, my calling is to actually work at grooming children. So that's what was actually what was the answer. Yes, so that's more about who you are. What is your aim in life? What are you good at? What do you generally have an inclination towards? Another way of finding this out is, suppose you have one whole day free and you're, say, in a library, and the library has all sorts of books. Okay, many types of books it has. Which section would you go to and where would you spend the time? All right, so that's something that can make you start thinking. All right, I'm just going to, screen is not visible, I'm just going to start screen again. So jab bhi, this is the same concept which we start with even when we do the first icebreaker lete hain na hum, jab aapki history mein ya humanities mein. All right, is the screen visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, so Ikigai is finding the purpose of life. And the first question I always ask all of y'all is, who are you? if you are not your name and your surname. तो हम ऐसा आइस ब्रेकर स्टार्ट करते हैं ना, अभी जब भी हम हिस्ट्री का क्लास या कुछ भी स्टार्ट करते हैं, सेशन स्टार्ट करते हैं, तो many of y'all say okay that's little tricky, अगर मैं नाम भी नहीं बताऊं, surname भी नहीं बताऊं, then some of y'all start saying oh I am from Latur, I am from this. Okay, I am not interested in knowing where you're from. You give me in one or two words what is it that you would define yourself as. Then someone says I'm a dancer, I'm a trekker, and then I told you I'm a spiritualist. So this is like थोड़ा सा हम अपने आप को we are trying to get to know ourselves. Okay, so who are you if you're not your name and surname? So I made you write those questions because that's something to start pondering on if you want to do Ikigai. Because Ikigai is a Japanese concept starting from a small village of Orikawa, which is in Japan, where the people really live for long life and they live a very happy and content life because they all have found a reason for their being. They all have Ikigai. It's basically a sense of self-discovery, and it is worth searching because there's a research being done about this, that what are the last thoughts or last regrets of a dying person. जो लोग मर रहे होते हैं उनसे पूछा जाता है कि आपकी लाइफ में आपको क्या लास्ट थॉट्स हैं आपके. सो मेनी ऑफ देम से I wish I had laughed more, I wish I had served more, I wish I had had more, spent more time with my family and friends. And they all say I wish I had done something more. जितना मेरे को लाइफ में मैंने किया है वो पूरा नहीं है, मुझे और करना चाहिए था, मुझे और सोचा. पर उसमें यही प्रॉब्लम हो जाती है that we don't know what more to do, what is that one legacy, what is that one service contribution we can leave behind. So therefore this Ikigai is very important. I have heard some classes on this, and in that we call this as the soul, finding your soul's code. आपके सोल का कोडिंग होता है ना, तो जो आपका सोल का कोड है जिस पे वो सोल चलती है कि वो क्या पर्पस है, वो क्या रीज़न है मेरी लाइफ का. तो इकिगाई का हमको ये तो मालूम है दैट इट्स अ फॉर्मूला फॉर बीइंग हैप्पी, बिकॉज एवरी मॉर्निंग व्हेन यू वेक अप, अभी तो हम यंग हैं और हमारे पास बहुत कुछ है करने के लिए, इसलिए वी डोंट हैव दिस क्वेश्चन इन लाइफ कि व्हाई शुड आई वेक अप टुडे. बट एज यू ग्रो ओल्डर एंड स्पेशली व्हेन पीपल आर रिटायर्ड, दे डोंट वांट टू गेट अप ओनली इन लाइफ. सो उठना ही नहीं है सुबह, क्यों, क्या करना है, कुछ है ही नहीं करने के लिए, वही खाओ पियो, वही अपना हस्बैंड वाइफ के साथ टाइम बिताओ, क्या है, there's nothing to look forward to life. So therefore that is what we need to know much early in life कि मैं अपनी ज़िंदगी किस चीज़ के लिए, what mission do I want to live for, what is the reason for my being. Another way of calling this is what's my inner calling, मेरी calling क्या है, मुझे क्या चीज़ बुलाती है कि ये मुझे करना है. तो मैं जब ये मेरी नीस को बता रही थी तो शी वॉज लाइक आई एम नॉट मेकिंग सेंस ऑफ इट, मुझे नहीं समझ आ रहा है. आई सेड ओके फाइन, आई विल टेल यू अ लिटिल स्टोरी. So stories always work. So there is a story of 5 grains. It's a story of fulfillment and about the purpose of life. So I don't know, some of y'all may have heard it before. मैंने एक दो बार बताया है, but I don't think I've shared it on this forum. So let me just quickly tell you the story of 5 grains. It's a story where there was a landlord in Bengal, and he was a very well accomplished man. उसने बहुत बड़ा अपना empire बनाया था, and now he was about to retire. So he had 4 sons. He had given his office work to his sons, and he also had a huge family क्योंकि चारों बेटे उसके साथ रहते थे और उसकी चारों की अपनी अपनी फैमिली थी, वाइव्स बच्चे सब थे. So they used to all live together in a large big Bengal mansion, in the middle of these fields. And now he had to retire from this work of taking care of the house also. So he wanted to allot the work to the 4 daughter-in-laws, but he wasn't very sure कि मैं किसको क्या काम दूँ. So he called them and he gave them 5 grains of rice. हर एक को बुलाया और 5-5 grains चावल के दे दिए कच्चे. तो the first lady was like she started laughing. She's like, ये I think हमारे जो ससुर जी है ना, बूढ़े तो हो गए हैं, सठिया गए हैं, क्योंकि इतने सारे हमारे पास गोडाउन्स ऑफ राइस है कि हमको 5 दाने राइस के दे क्यों रहे हैं, कुछ तो भी गड़बड़ है. So she just threw it away. The second lady, she said, yeah, I think he's gone little sanak gaye hain, but why throw off this rice? Chal, let me just eat it. So she just put it into her mouth, 5 grains of kacha rice. The third one was more, thoughtful. So she said, nahi, I should not throw it. This our father-in-law is not so buddhu, and he's quite a smart man, shrewd man. And what if later he asks for it? If he tomorrow tells me, मेरे को ये 5 grains दे दो, तो मैं एक काम करती हूँ, I'll just save it nicely. So she put it in a nice bag and she put it in her room behind the her मंदिर के पीछे उसने छुपा दिया कि कभी मांगेंगे तो दे दूंगी. But the fourth, the youngest daughter-in-law, was very, very intelligent, and she was very, very, very thoughtful. And she thought that our father-in-law is a very smart person, very intelligent person. He has done so much in life, and I don't think he would have given us these 5 grains of rice just to throw or eat or something. I think there is more thought to it. What would I do? What does he want from me? And what can I do which would probably make him happy? So when she thought about that, she immediately thought seeds को क्या करना चाहिए, plant करना चाहिए. So took to her garden outside and she planted these 5 grains of rice. And she looked after them, and within some time they came out as crops. And उसमें से फिर से हार्वेस्टिंग हुआ तो और राइस निकला. फिर जब और राइस के दाने निकले तो उसने अपने वर्कर्स को बुलाया और बोला, हमारे जो फील्ड्स है ना, उसमें इसको इस एक पैच में इन ग्रेन्स को ग्रो कर दो. ऐसे करते करते 5 साल बीत गए और उसमें 5 grains, 5 harvest आ गए. Okay, so 5 times she could harvest the grains. Meanwhile, one day the father-in-law, now he was really getting old, and he thought it's right time to allot the work of this house to the daughter-in-laws. So he called all the 4 of them again and he said, okay, you remember 5 years back I had given you 5 grains of rice. Can you please give it back to me? Now the first 2 were really afraid and they started running here and there and trying to get some grains to give him. And then he said, नहीं, ये तो वो है ही नहीं जो मैंने आपको दिए थे. So the first one said, yes, sorry, I thought you were joking with us, so I just threw it away. The second one said, yeah, I didn't throw it, I ate them up, but I don't have them now because I ate them up. And the third one says, father-in-law, I actually saved them, I will bring them for you. So she ran to her room and then she went and got the 5 grains and gave it to the father-in-law. And she thought father-in-law will be very happy. So he didn't seem very happy. He was, okay, fine, give it to me. But the fourth one, she said, father-in-law, if you want those 5 grains, I can't give them to you. But if you give me a tractor, I can get you the grains which have come from those grains. And you will need to give me a tractor because over 5 years it has grown into such a large yield. So this made the father-in-law very, very happy. And why do you think that made him happy?
मैम बिकॉज वो कंपाउंड हुआ जो भी इनिशियली डाला था.
हाँ, जो उसने दिया था उसको इसने with interest दे दिया. You know, she compounded it, made more out of it. Yes, correct. So this is how we are all given endowments, or what we call as gifts. There are gifts that we all have got, which are these 5 grains, and these endowments are our body and mind. All of us have been given a good body, a wonderful mind. We just have to keep it in proper shape. Then we have been given resources. We all have internal talents. हमारे अंदर कुछ talent है. And we all have lots of facilities. हमारे external talents हैं. We are born into different types of families जिसमें already कुछ facilities हैं. कुछ like I said, my father is a ex-army officer, but he's like a land, he always thinks land, and he's got into making big, he's become builder and a developer. So मेरे को वो already बना हुआ मिला, that's my resource I got. And then we all have relationships, we have such wonderful relationships with our family, with our friends, with our teachers, which we should value and use to right way. And then with all these things that we are given, we are also given responsibilities. हमारे हाथ में वो 5 grains दिए हैं, ये हमें कुछ इसका कुछ लाइफ का करना है. वी आर नॉट लाइक गौरव वाज सेइंग, सम पीपल जस्ट लिव, आज का दिन आया चलो देखो जो करना है कर लेंगे. कोई मूवी जा रहा है तो हम मूवी चलेंगे, कोई सो रहा है तो सो लेंगे, कोई वीडियो देख, एनीथिंग वी डू, वी वेस्ट टाइम. No, we've been given a responsibility, we're supposed to do something and find a purpose of our life. And then there is a fifth grain which we have, which is the spiritual understanding, which is what we're doing this Adhyatma club for. कि हम लोग इस दुनिया में क्यों हैं, हमारा who am I, why am I here, what is this whole understanding of why is life being given to us. और ये हम we are not doing it out of our own small brains and whatever we can think of, but we're actually studying it from Bhagvat Geeta, from some old people who've gone through life, time and tested methods. And so these are the 5 endowments that we are given. I will send you the PPT so you can have these. And normally हम लोग टाइप 4 टाइप के रिस्पॉन्स देखते हैं. लोग इस दुनिया में 4 टाइप के होते हैं. पहले टाइप के लोग होते हैं जो तामसिक होते हैं, तमोगुण में होते हैं. वो बेसिकली डिस्ट्रक्टिव मेंटालिटी के होते हैं. वो ना अपने लिए कुछ अच्छा करते हैं ना किसी और के लिए कुछ अच्छा करते हैं. लाइफ को फेंक देते हैं, उड़ा देते हैं. 5 ग्रेन्स के फर्स्ट डॉटर इन लॉ के जैसे, उसको क्या किया, उसने फेंक दिया. क्या है बड़ी बात है, तो ये लाइफ क्या बड़ी बात है, ये बॉडी क्या अपग्रेड दी हुई है, कुछ भी करके बॉडी भी खराब करते हैं, ठीक से ध्यान नहीं रखते, टाइम पे सोते नहीं, टाइम पे खाते नहीं, अपनी बॉडी भी खराब करते हैं, दूसरों के लिए भी कोई कुछ उसका फ़ायदा नहीं होता. सेकंड टाइप के लोग होते हैं, जैसे वो सेकंड डॉटर इन लॉ थी, जो बहुत जो भी है इंजॉय करो, खा लो, कल किसने देखा, लिव लाइफ किंग साइज. तो इंस्टेंट ग्रेटिफिकेशन, जो भी चीज़ आती है सबसे पहले उसको इंजॉय कर लो. वो राजसिक गुण का नेचर होता है. ये सब भगवत गीता में दिया हुआ है. और थर्ड जो लड़की थी, शी वॉज स्टिल थॉटफुल एंड उसने जाके जो भी था उसको प्रिजर्व किया ताकि बाद में उसको हम वापस कर सकें. तो ये सात्विक गुण होता है, विच इज़ बेसिकली नाइसली प्रिजर्विंग. अच्छे से बॉडी का ध्यान रखो, योगा करो, अच्छे से खाओ, सात्विक रहो, और जैसा आपको मिला था वैसा वापस दे दो. लेकिन इसमें क्या होता है, इसमें कुछ खास प्रोडक्शन नहीं होता, जैसा था वैसा वापस. लेकिन इसके बाद इन तीनों गुणों से ऊपर एक गुण होता है, भगवत गीता बताती है, उसको बोलते हैं शुद्ध सत्व. शुद्ध सत्व मतलब बीइंग ट्रांसेंडेंटल टू द गुणास, गुण के ऊपर. विच मीन्स यू हैव टू थिंक अबाउट मेरी लाइफ क्यों दी गई है, मुझे ये ह्यूमन लाइफ क्यों मिली है. बिकॉज आई एम सपोज टू डू समथिंग आउट ऑफ इट, आई एम सपोज टू प्रोड्यूस मल्टीपल गुड्स, I'm supposed to enhance whatever is given to me. Not only just preserve it, but enhance and be of some good, be of some help, be of some contribution to the whole world. So this is the kind of responses we have. So when I told my niece about this story, she said, okay, again, a little bit I'm understanding. But what happened to those 4 daughter-in-laws? So I said, see, then father-in-law ने क्या किया, जब उसको अपने घर की सारी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटीज़ देनी थी, तो उसने क्या किया, जो फर्स्ट लड़की थी उसने सब उसको बोला कि तू सब फेंकती है ना, मतलब तेरे को सफाई का बहुत शौक है, ओके, यू विल बी रिस्पॉन्सिबल फॉर कीपिंग द हाउस क्लीन. The second girl, he said, you're very interested in eating things, na? So you'll be good at the kitchen, you'll take care of the food, so you're in charge of the kitchen. The third one, he said, you're very good at preserving things, I will give you the accounts, tu pure ghar ke accounts rakhegi. And the fourth one, he gave the house ka responsibility or the chabi of the house. All the decisions you will make, because you are good at engaging everything and everyone into the right use to be able to produce something out of it. And I'm very relieved कि तेरे leadership में ये लोग सब अच्छे से काम करेंगे, and you will make sure that this house and this family and this even this empire goes to further, it grows, it doesn't fall down. 1 रुपए का तू 1.25 रुपए बनाएगी, उसको 20 या 50 पैसा करके नहीं देगी मुझे. So this is how God has created this life for us. He's given us these endowments and he is expecting us to do something with it. But problem क्या है, हमें पता नहीं है क्या करना है.
Right.
And therefore this concept of ikigai comes. So let's just quickly look at it. The first question is, what do you love to do? A lot of people like have many things that we love to do. I love singing, I love drama, I love to be philosophical and spiritual, I love traveling. बहुत सारी चीज़ें हैं जो मुझे अच्छी लगती हैं करने के लिए. Or what am I good at? Okay, so I like singing but I'm not very great at singing. तो फिर मुझे समझ आता है कि मेरे को इसके बीच में कुछ ढूंढना पड़ेगा या मुझे मेरी उस टैलेंट को इम्प्रूव करना पड़ेगा. पहले तो डिस्कवर करना पड़ेगा, फिर इम्प्रूव करना पड़ेगा. ओके, सिमिलरली ऑल राइट, ये तो हो गया, मैंने अपनी खुशी के लिए कुछ किया. व्हाट अबाउट इससे इस वर्ल्ड को क्या चाहिए, मेरे से या मेरे इस टैलेंट से इस वर्ल्ड को क्या चाहिए. एंड फाइनली इट शुड बी पेइंग ऑल्सो. जैसे गौरव बता रहा था कि इट you know, if we don't get paid for it, if we don't get acknowledged for it, then we feel unfulfilled. लाइफ में एंड में ऐसा नहीं हमको चाहिए कि अरे यू नो कुछ फुलफिलमेंट नहीं फील हो रहा है. Because we want people, we are like, man is a social animal, so we need some sort of acknowledgement, and of course we need money for sustenance, money for our other things we love. I need money to travel, so I need, should, whatever I do should pay for what I can contribute. So it's a contribution to the world, but I should also get paid for it. तो ये जापानीज लोग ऐसे ही करते हैं. Most of them have found an ikigai. They are good at something and they help to give it to the others, but that also sustains them. It's a small family. And I was reading about them that they always are in groups. 5 के ग्रुप में होते हैं जब से छोटे से होते हैं. They're always very friendly with each other. They always help each other. So there's always that contribution, okay, to each other, if not to the whole village. So this is the ikigai. We will look at it a little more deeper understanding. ये जो है, so what you're good at and what you love to do is your passion. उसका overlap, ये Venn diagram बना के इसमें understanding आता है. So what you're good at and what you love to do becomes your passion. What you love to do and what the world needs from you becomes your mission. We all must live by a mission. तो हमने जब पहले भी स्टार्ट किया था, there should be a vision and mission in life, है ना. कुछ तो मिशन होना चाहिए, नहीं तो आपको रोज सुबह उठ के करना क्या है वही नहीं पता चलता. तो लाइफ में कुछ एक गाइडिंग स्टार, गाइडिंग मिशन होना चाहिए कि क्या करना है. Then what the world needs and what you can get paid for, that becomes your vocation. So that's architecture for a lot of us, because the world needs good designs, and if you are if you can do that, you can get paid for it, and that can become your vocation. If you're good at it and you get paid for it, then you can very proudly call yourself an architect. That becomes your profession. So this is how this ikigai understands these terms. So अब तक कुछ क्वेश्चन है, एनीथिंग यू वांट टू नो? एक क्वेश्चन आ रहा होगा आप लोगों के मन में कि प्रोफेशन और वोकेशन में क्या डिफरेंस है. सो प्रोफेशन इज whatever you're trained to be, and vocation comes more from what is your inner skill. Okay, so for example, the Sachin Tendulkar's vocation was always playing cricket. He was just good at it right from the beginning. Whereas a lot of us architects have a profession of architecture. Frank Lloyd Wright, he had a vocation for architecture. He didn't even need to study architecture. He just studied nature and then he made such beautiful buildings. But a lot of us architects have to actually go through the 5-year training, if not more. So that's a profession and vocation ka difference. So is this kind of a Venn diagram and passion, mission, profession, vocation making some sense to you? और इन चारों का जो ओवरलैप है उसको इकिगाई बोलते हैं. तो ये ढूंढना इतना आसान भी नहीं है, बट first thing is to get to know it.
Ma'am?
Alright, so I'll take a 2-minute question break. Anyone has? Yes?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, so what's the difference between passion and vocation?
What's the difference between passion and vocation? Passion can be something that the world may not need. For example, मेरा passion है, you know, I may have a passion for traveling or trekking, but the world doesn't need that. मेरे ट्रैकिंग या ट्रैवलिंग से वर्ल्ड को कुछ फायदा मिलने वाला है नहीं मिलने वाला है ऐसा कुछ लग नहीं रहा सो ऐसे it's the difference between what you may like yourself but is the world really needing it, that kind of thing. ठीक है
तो मैम
हाँ
just a second.
हाँ
Passion is something जहाँ पे it's not contributing to the world, but vocation is something जिसमें contribution हो रहा है, but दोनों का purpose same है. I mean,
see it always starts with what do you like to do. इसका start always यही है, what do you love to do. You love to do something and then it becomes your passion. You love to do it but the world needs it, you get paid for it, so it becomes your vocation.
right. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Yes, और कोई कुछ पूछ रहा था?
So doing multiple things that fit in these parameters, or doing just one thing which can satisfy all the parameters?
Okay, so that's the question. There could be multiple things, but generally multiple things actually हमारी human life इस तरीके की है कि बहुत सारी चीजें करने में हम जब अपना attention बहुत जगह पे डालते हैं तो then we are spreading ourselves too thin. तो फिर किसी भी चीज में पूरी you don't get the optimum. तो उसमें से भी हमको choose करना पड़ता है. So now I am good at many things. I love to do many things. I am good at say 5 out of those 10 things. ऐसे लेते हैं 10 चीजें मुझे अच्छी लगती करनी, 5 चीजें मुझे उसमें से I am good at doing it. And then I try and look at what the world needs. So then I understand the world, out of these 5 things, the world only needs 2 things. Out of those 2 things, I don't think I'll get paid for this one because iska bhi the world needs it but they are not going to pay for it yet, and so this one they will pay for it. So this is my Ikigai. Okay, so that's the way you work at it. So that's why when I tell you to ask these 4 questions, you can start writing them down. So I love to decorate, I love to celebrate festivals, I love to dance, I love to sing. So I am good at decorating. The world needs beauty. Maybe I should become an interior designer, something like that. ठीक है? And will the world pay me for that? Yeah. If you're good at it and then world needs it, then you will get paid for it. So getting paid for it is not the most important thing, but it is an important aspect. तो उसको neglect नहीं करना. तो ये Venn diagram बनाना जरूरी है. एक के बाद एक के बाद एक के बाद, and then coming to your Ikigai. Okay. Now, what I would like you to understand is, this is a very simple way of understanding it. Another deeper aspect of this is what we will see from Bhagvat Geeta.
Yes.
So let's go through that first and then I'll take some questions after that, because this will give you a much more clearer understanding कि Ikigai को really life में actually कैसे करना है. So because it's in the Bhagavad Geeta, I could not find any proper Venn diagram online, so I just made some. So इसमें 4 जो points हैं, they are conscience, vision, need and talent. Okay, so let me go one by one. So this is the way, how do we start that Ikigai with our more solid philosophical understanding. So it all begins with development of conscience. Conscience develops the vision. पर conscience होता क्या है? आपको ये वर्ड सीखा होगा आपने इंग्लिश में या स्कूल में कभी. कॉन्शियस, मेरी कॉन्शियस बोल रही है ये करना चाहिए, मेरी कॉन्शियस बोल रही है ये नहीं करना चाहिए. तो कॉन्शियस क्या होता है?
Like when you have the control over your decisions, like what you do, you know what you're doing. You're aware of it.
Exactly.
Okay, at least that awareness. Yeah. So one way of looking at conscience, it's the watchdog that barks at sin. It's that voice inside you that helps you take the right decision. तो जैसे ही हम कुछ करने जा रहे होते हैं तो अंदर से हमको एक आवाज आती है, ये नहीं करना चाहिए, ये गलत बात है, या ये करो, दिस इज वेरी गुड. तो हमारे को हर एक को ये कॉन्शियस है. इसको भगवत गीता में परमात्मा कहते हैं. हम हर एक जीवा के साथ एक परमात्मा है जो हमें हर मोमेंट टू मोमेंट देख रहा है, हमारे हर डिसीजन को देख रहा है और हमारे हर डिसीजन पे यस और नो भी देते हैं. लेकिन हम लोग उसको सुनना बंद कर देते हैं. क्यों नहीं सुनेंगे तो क्या हो जाएगा? सब चीटिंग कर रहे हैं, हम भी कर लेंगे. सबने टेप लिया, या क्या बोलते हैं हमारी आर्किटेक्चर लैंग्वेज में, हमने सब जीटी कर लिया, सब कर रहे हैं तो मैं भी कर लेता हूँ. लेकिन अंदर से ना कहीं से धीरे से वो कॉन्शियस बोलती है, यार नहीं यार, ऐसे करेगा तो सीखेगा कुछ नहीं. तो उस कॉन्शियस को हमें सुनना है, उसको चुप नहीं कराना है. क्योंकि अगर वो चुप करा दिया तो वो धीरे धीरे फिर उसकी वॉल्यूम कम हो जाती है. हमको उसकी वॉल्यूम को बढ़ाना है ताकि जब हमारी लाइफ में डिसीजंस लेने हैं हमें, तो वो कॉन्शियस हमको गाइड करे. सो कॉन्शियस ऑलवेज गिव्स अस द कनेक्शन विद द ट्रूथ, and so it helps us in taking right decisions. So what is conscience? It is actually referring to our obedience to God, or obedience to the instructions or the morality, and also the instructions of the simple principles, the subtlest principles. छोटी छोटी बातें. अभी जल्दी उठना है कि नहीं उठना है, अभी मुझे ये खाना चाहिए कि नहीं खाना चाहिए, अभी मुझे सच बोलना चाहिए कि नहीं बोलना चाहिए, अभी इसको हेल्प करूं कि अपना काम करूं. All small, moment to moment we are taking decisions, and many times we become very thoughtless and we just do what we just do. But we have to become moment to moment, start listening to our conscience, so that slowly the conscience makes large voice. उसकी वॉल्यूम हमने घटाई नहीं है, वो बढ़ाई है. और वो इतनी जोर से आवाज आती है कि जब हमको लाइफ में कोई डिसीजन लेना होता है तो वो अंदर से हमें बताती है और हम उसको सुन पाते हैं. ये बहुत डीप चीज़ है. एक जापानीज बिजनेसमैन है, वो दिस इज हाउ ही टेक्स हिज डिसीजंस फॉर हिज बिजनेस ऑल्सो. ही सेज उसको कोई भी डिसीजन होता है ना कि ये अभी मुझे ये टेक ओवर करना चाहिए, ये कॉन्ट्रैक्ट साइन करना चाहिए, नहीं करना चाहिए, खरीदना चाहिए, नहीं खरीदना चाहिए. तो ही डजंट टेक द डिसीजन इमीडिएटली. ही टेक्स इट एंड ही स्लीप्स ओवर इट. ही टेक्स इट होम, एक रात बिताते हैं, एंड नेक्स्ट मॉर्निंग he gets the answer from inside. Usko conscious bolte hai. Because if you have listened to your conscience at the small times it has told you things, then when it is major decisions of life, you'll be able to hear it. It always gives you, like if you have to choose a life partner, or you have to choose a career, you have to choose a job, you have to choose, ye project karu ki nahi karu. वो क्योंकि आपने उसको रोज सुना है, इसलिए जिस दिन बड़ा डिसीजन होता है उस दिन भी वो आपको हेल्प करता है. इसको परमात्मा की आवाज कहते हैं, कॉन्शियस कहते हैं. ऑलराइट, सो कॉन्शियस helps you take right decisions in provoking situations, and in another way it is the connection with the truth. जो ट्रूथ है, क्योंकि हम लोगों को कितना मालूम है, जो हमको हमारी नॉलेज से जो थोड़ा बहुत हमने सीखा है स्कूल में, या हमने राइट रॉन्ग सीखा है, उतना पता है हमको इतना पता होगा कि ये करने से ये हो जाएगा. लेकिन हमें बड़ा पिक्चर नहीं मालूम ना. हमें ये नहीं मालूम कि ऐसा करने से क्या हुआ, हो सकता है, हो चुका है, हमें इतना नहीं मालूम होता है. लेकिन कोई एक ऐसी पावर है जिसको सब कुछ मालूम है, और उस पावर के साथ हमें कनेक्ट करता है, वो हमारा कॉन्शियस है. तो वो परमात्मा हमें एब्सोल्यूट ट्रूथ, या जिसे भगवान या द ऑल नॉलेजेबल, उससे कनेक्ट कर देता है. तो जब हम वो कनेक्ट हो जाते हैं तो हमें कुछ भी क्वेश्चन होता है, ये करूँ कि नहीं करूँ, वो बोलता है करो, तो हम करते हैं. सो दिस इज व्हाट द कॉन्शियस इज अबाउट. कॉन्शियस अच्छे से होने से हमारे को विजन डेवलप होता है. विजन क्या होता है? विजन इज समथिंग दैट इज एक्चुअली अवॉर्डेड टू अस. ये हमारे अंदर होता है, ये अंदर से आवाज़ आती है. लेट्स गिव यू एन एग्जाम्पल. बहुत सारे ऐसे कंपोजर्स हैं, साइंटिस्ट हैं, जो बोलते हैं कि ये मैंने नहीं डिस्कवर किया, ये मुझे अंदर से ये आवाज़ आई थी. वो एप्पल मेरे सर पे गिरा तो मुझे ग्रेविटी का पता चला. मैं पानी में घुसा और वो पानी सारा निकला तो मुझे आर्किमिडीज प्रिंसिपल निकल गया। या बहुत सारे ऐसे संत तुकाराम हैं, बिथोवन हैं, जिन्होंने बहुत सुंदर सुंदर या तो सॉन्ग्स कंपोज किए हैं या म्यूजिक पीसेस कंपोज किए हैं, और ये लोग भी बोलते हैं ये मुझे इंस्पिरेशन अंदर से आई है, मैंने ये कहीं ऐसा सीखा नहीं। Okay, it just came. So what is that? That is that Paramatma connected to the larger knowledge source, which has given them the vision from inside. So in our case, the vision will give us this understanding. What should I do which is good for myself, which is good for my family, for the community, for humanity, and for God? It will give us that understanding कि मेरी इकेगाई क्या है. So that clarity comes with vision. But for that, first you have to develop your conscience. And then the next thing we know is our talent. All of us have talents. जब हमें विजन समझता है तो हमें अपने टैलेंट्स के बारे में भी थोड़ा अंडरस्टैंडिंग आती है. अब मैं आई लाइक टू डू मेनी थिंग्स, आई लव टू डू सो मेनी थिंग्स, एंड आई कैन बी गुड एट 2-3 थिंग्स, बट विच वन इज माई मेन टैलेंट? वॉट एम आई रियली मेड फॉर? किसके लिए मैं बना हूँ? So this talent has to be tapped and channelized in the right direction. अब इसका एक एग्जाम्पल देते हैं. जैसे अर्जुना का टैलेंट था कि वो वॉरियर था. He was by nature a warrior, Kshatriya. So when Krishna spoke to him, he said, now it could be good or bad, but there's nothing good or bad. For example, a knife is not good or bad. What you do with it is good or bad. You use it as a surgeon to treat someone. उसका ऑपरेशन करके उसको ठीक करते हो तो वो नाइफ ठीक हो जाता है, अच्छा हो जाता है. वही नाइफ से आप उठा के किसी के पेट में डाल देते हो तो वो नाइफ खराब हो जाता है. So it's not what we are talking about, it's how do you use it, what are you doing with it, right? So let me just share my screen again, I'm sorry. All right, तो अभी तक आपको ये समझ गया ना कि like अर्जुना के केस में what did Krishna do? He actually channelized his talent and he told him, by nature तेरी nature है क्षत्रिय, तो आज ये you leave the ground and go, you leave the war and go, but you will again pick up your weapon for something because that's your basic nature. तो आपकी जो प्रकृति या आपकी जो नेचर है और आपका जो उसमें टैलेंट है उसको समझना and उसको चैनलाइज करना. So it takes time to discover our talents. And how do we do this? By becoming close, having a close connection with ourselves. तो हमें inward look, we have to start looking inward. We have to become closer to our own nature, also be close to nature. Nature में जब हम होते हैं तो बहुत सारे हमें ऐसे ideas, अपने बारे में talents, अपने बारे में जानने को मिलता है because we get time to spend with ourselves in a sattvic environment. And then of course being with mentors. If we have a teacher or a coach or a mentor who guides us, who can see us from a top view, उसको हमारे बारे में ज़्यादा पता है हमसे भी, so then they can guide us. Otherwise, many of us just go through life like it's a motion of life, very mindlessly, very haplessly, not being able to discover anything. Discovery तो बहुत दूर की बात है अपने talents की, वो तो ये भी नहीं समझता कि लाइफ के लिए कुछ पर्पस है भी. व्हाट इज पर्पस ऑफ लाइफ तो तब बाद में आएगा ना, पहले तो ये तो समझ आना चाहिए कि देयर इज अ पर्पस ऑफ लाइफ. सो वी हैव टू गेट ओवर दिस. एंड देन द फोर्थ सर्कल इज द नीड ऑफ द वर्ल्ड. The world needs what you have got. So for that you need to first understand what you've got, and you also have to understand the need. What is the real need of the society that my talent can fulfill? So for this, your talent has to be, basically your talent has to get subordinated to the conscience. Example, Hitler was a very talented man. He was exceptionally good at leadership. वो लोगों को ऐसे mesmerize कर देता था अपनी speeches से. लेकिन उसने क्या किया, उसकी कॉन्शियस ठीक जगह पे नहीं थी, तो उसने रिवेंज के लिए यूज किया. फर्स्ट वर्ल्ड वॉर में उन लोगों को बहुत सहना पड़ा. So this time he wanted to, in the Second World War, he wanted to prove it to the world that Germans are very strong people, they're very intelligent people, and they are the top of the world. And for that, he was ready to do any number of atrocities. सो उसका कॉन्शियस ठीक जगह पे नहीं था, टैलेंट बहुत अच्छा था. सो वी मस्ट कीप आस्किंग दिस क्वेश्चन, व्हाट डज द वर्ल्ड नीड फ्रॉम मी. वो मैं क्या ऐसा करूं जिससे मैं बहुत फोकस्ड भी रहूंगा और लाइफ में बहुत प्रैक्टिकल भी रहूंगा और मैं कुछ कंट्रीब्यूशन कर सकूंगा. Okay, otherwise we feel very unaccomplished. So accomplishment is not only by getting money. So ikigai जो हमने दूसरा जापानीज कॉन्सेप्ट समझा, उसमें पैसा, what will I get paid for. Here it's more about understanding what will I contribute. Payment will come anyways, it will come, but when I leave a contribution which will satisfy me कि मैंने अपनी life worthfully जी है. So that's a little difference that Bhagavad Geeta teaches us, that all these four are important, but they have to be done in this order. First, we have to develop our conscience. Then we have to get a vision for our life. Then we have to understand, मेरे ये vision इस world के लिए कुछ fulfill करेगा कि नहीं. And then we have to do it in the form of a service attitude. So this is why a student life is given. Basically student life is not only about developing talents only, because हम लोग talent develop कर लेते हैं, world को क्या चाहिए ये भी पता कर लेते हैं, and we can make some place for ourselves in society. But are we happy? No, because the first two are not done. We haven't developed our conscience and we haven't worked on a vision. So this is what we need to do. In another words, or the words that are used in Bhagavad Geeta, conscience means why. I always like to think everything in why, what, how. So why should we do something? So conscience gives us that why. इसको बोलते हैं प्रणिपात. प्रणिपात मतलब getting the understanding that I am not the center of creation. Actually जैसे ही हम पैदा होते हैं as a child, we are always thinking me. मुझे भूख लगी है, मेरी मम्मी है, मेरा खाना है, ये मेरा है, मैं शेयर नहीं. This is the way we are brought up. Then we go to school and we are taught, okay, share. थोड़ा बहुत अच्छी कुछ morals हमें सिखाए जाते थे. I don't know अभी सिखाए जाते हैं कि नहीं. But we always think I am the center of creation. We don't realize that I am not the center. I am only a part of the larger picture, and I have a role to play in the larger picture. So वो conscience देता है. That conscience gives us that understanding, developing our conscience. Then we understand what am I supposed to do. So पहले हमें समझ आता है who am I, then I come to know the vision of life. What? This comes from pariprashna. Pariprashna means constantly making relevant questions. Why am I here? What should I be doing? What is the purpose of my life? यहाँ पे ये vision develop होता है. And then we understand that talent. We are all given talent. The screen, is my screen visible or it's gone?
नहीं मैम,
Pranjal, can
नहीं दिख रही. Screen is visible but your presentation isn't.
okay. All right, I'm sharing it again. Okay, so so this concept of why am I here, what am I supposed to be doing, and then the next is how do I put my talents to use. Okay, now is it visible?
Yes ma'am.
Okay, so that's the talent. How? मेरी अपनी प्रकृति क्या है, what is my nature, and what am I, my default setting is what, and what am I good at. And then the next part is what is the need for the world. मेरे में ये अच्छा चीज है, ये मेरे अंदर ये अच्छी क्वालिटी किसी ने तो दी है ना, अपने आप तो मैंने नहीं डेवलप की. आई एम वेरी लीडरशिप ओरिएंटेड, आई एम वेरी focused, I am very sensitive. These are different qualities in all of us. We should get to know them, and then we should know these are not made by us. They are all in us for a specific reason. Because मैं उस piece, एक पूरे jigsaw puzzle में मेरा ये piece है. मैं एक सेंसिटिव पर्सन हूँ, मेरा काम है कि मैं लोगों को ऐसे बाइंड करके रखूँ. मैं एक लीडरशिप काइंड ऑफ पर्सन हूँ, मेरा काम है कि मैं मोटिवेट करके रखूँ. सो ये हमें पता चल जाता है कि हमें इस नीड को फुलफिल करने के लिए बनाया गया है, या हमें ये मेरी सेवा है. सो देन कम्स दैट कॉन्सेप्ट, जो भी मैं करने वाला हूँ, आई एम गोइंग टू डू दैट एज अ सर्विस कॉन्ट्रीब्यूशन in the form of doing something for others. So Last slide, I'll just tell you what are the steps of doing Ikigai. Abhi tak to Ikigai is just a philosophy. Now, how do we put it into action? So, first thing we should do is we must develop our consciousness and we must develop our conscience. Conscience is that which tells us right or wrong, for which we have to develop our consciousness. मतलब हमको थोड़ा अवेयर होना पड़ता है, हमको अपने बारे में समझना पड़ता है, हमको दुनिया के बारे में समझना पड़ता है. So we must for this stay as sattvic as possible, eat as sattvic, live in nature, be close to nature. If you are not close to nature, go out, go for treks, go for picnics into nature, so that there is time for ourselves. So go with yourself, for yourself, have a picnic with yourself, not with the rest, because सब लोगों के सामने वो अंदर की आवाज सुनती नहीं है. So that's one thing we can do. Live a very sattvic environment, sattvic diet, sattvic type of sleeping on time, waking on time, just leading a very sattvic life first. Then following a mentor, somebody who knows us, some like a guru or a teacher, and reading good books, reading scriptures. So this is Steve Jobs' very famous quote. He says, "The way to success is stay hungry, stay foolish. Never ever think that मैंने बहुत सीख लिया, मैं बहुत smart हूँ. No, always think yourself foolish. Always be hungry to get more and more knowledge." Okay. So this helps you to develop a mission in life. How do you develop a mission in life? You must read. You must come to know about the whole world. Read deeply, read vastly. To know about the world, to connect your system to the main frame. Stay hungry, stay foolish. Now, next part is developing your talent. इसके लिए कुछ संस्कृत अंडरस्टैंडिंग है भगवत गीता में दी हुई. You must have an अनुष्ठान. So, for example, let's take it that we want to be a good architectural student. So you must create a conducive environment. That means you must have a good room where you have undisturbed, it's a clean room, you have all your stationery, you have all your books, you have your drafting board, you have your materials. सब कुछ अच्छा conducive करके रखो ताकि वहाँ पे दिल करे पढ़ाई करने का. Okay, so make a conducive environment. अनुष्ठान. Adhyayan is then making the mastery under a master, which means find the right kind of teacher. You have a good teacher at school, at college. Go to them, ask them. Keep being hungry for knowledge. Go to them to learn new skills, knowledge, new attitudes, good values in life. Always keep yourself hungry and foolish. हमेशा लो रखना अपने को. कभी भी मुझे सब आता है, इसको कुछ नहीं आता है, ऐसे नहीं सोचना अपने टीचर के लिए. Next is to have anusandhan. Anusandhan means you must be goal oriented. मुझे ये अचीव करना है. अभी मुझे मेरा फर्स्ट ईयर का इतने ये सब्जेक्ट तो मुझे ठीक से करना ही करना है. अब मुझे इतने मार्क्स लाने हैं. अब मुझे धीरे धीरे ये तो इम्प्रूव करना है. मेरे से एडीजी ठीक से नहीं हो रहा, मुझसे पर्सपेक्टिव नहीं बन रहा, मेरे को इम्प्रूव करना है, मुझे इम्प्रूव करना है. किसी से कंपटीशन नहीं करना, अपने आप से कंपटीशन करते रहिए. एंड देन देर इज अध्यापन. अभी जो भी आपने सीखा है उसको अपने पास मत रखो, उसको दूसरों को दो. When you teach to others, your own skill becomes better and better. And it is not because it's like this, किसी को देते हैं ना तो भगवान उसमें हमारी fulfill कर देते हैं. So don't charge, don't hide your knowledge. Give it for free. Give it for the welfare of others and see, it will come back to you. Don't worry about that. So this is the thing. And then the after developing talent becomes understanding the need of the society. Travel, meet people, do market review. There is something called as strategic planning, which has 13 steps to identify the need. So ये एक topic में further I will take it with you, where now I've understood I'm an architect, I'm good at say landscaping, I'm very good at interior designing, say I'd like to do this, but उसमें need किधर है society में, and then you make a strategy for it. So this is the way to go ahead and find your Ikigai and become good at it. All right, so that's the end of my presentation. We can take a 5-minute question answers and then we can end.
Ma'am, presentation was too good.
Presentation too. It was a little heavy, I think, but I think I'll send it to you. You can read through it. You can see the video again. इसमें सिर्फ ये समझना है कि हमें there is more to Ikigai than just those 4 circles that the world has given us through Ikigai. Actually, there is a higher understanding of why, what, and then the how. So थियोरटिकल है ये थोड़ा, लेकिन इसको एक्शन में जब डालेंगे तो हमें समझ जाएगा. तो अभी इसको क्या करना है, वो जो 4 क्वेश्चंस आपको दिए हैं उसको उस पे आप थोड़ा सोच के लिखिए. उसके बाद नीड ऑफ द वर्ल्ड इज अ लिटिल वेग, क्योंकि हमें एग्जैक्टली नहीं पता होता नीड क्या है वर्ल्ड का. उसके लिए हम स्ट्रेटेजिक प्लानिंग करके एक टॉपिक लेंगे जिसमें क्या चाहिए दुनिया को और हम उसको कैसे अपनी स्ट्रैटेजी बनाएंगे कि हम उसको दे सकें, वॉट एवर इज गुड इन अस. So that we can do, and then finally we'll come to our Ikigai. तो पर भैया आपको कुछ थोड़ा सा और डीपर समझा.
Now I have something to add.
Yes.
So there is a thing that I think, which is right or wrong, I don't know, but I think there is a process on how in what sequence these questions must be asked. These 4 questions.
Okay.
So what the world does is first we ask what world needs. So while choosing a career or choosing something that a job or anything, we first see that what the world needs. Like most of the people do that. Like what is the scope in architecture or what is the scope in certain field. So we do that first, and then we think that yes, I love it or I don't love it. So I think first we need to look on these 2 questions, that what we love and what we are. First, when we satisfy these 2 questions, I guess other 2 questions, the third is how do we get paid for it, and fourth is what world needs. So I think those 2 questions, the next 2 questions can be answered when we are very firm at the first 2 questions. Because first, if we look at what the world needs and what we are good, what field pays you the best, then it is very difficult to find what we love, or we'll waste time in it. Because if we will accidentally find something that yes, so for example, coding will pay me a lot in the future, but we will learn it and then we'll ask question that if we love it or not. So that must not be the way. That's what I think. It must be worse.
Yeah. So when Ikigai teaches you, it says पहले ask yourself what do you love, then you ask yourself what are you good at, then you ask what the world needs, and then you ask what will I get paid for. वो उस sequence में देता है. And what I have understood from Bhagvat Geeta is it says first develop your conscience, first develop this understanding only कि भैया I am a soul, I have come here for a higher reason. Then you come to understand your vision. अब मुझे समझ आ गया कि मैं एक स्पिरिचुअल बीइंग हूँ, अब मुझे लाइफ में कुछ विजन चाहिए. विजन बन गया मेरा कि आई एम गोइंग टू बी हियर फॉर मेकिंग अ डिफरेंस टू दिस वर्ल्ड, आई वॉन्ट टू चेंज द वर्ल्ड. ये मेरा विजन बन गया. अब डज द वर्ल्ड नीड द चेंज, और वेयर डज द वर्ल्ड नीड द चेंज? ओके, एंड देन how can I put my own talent to it? See, it's not it's like subset and subset and subset. लेकिन आपको बिगिनिंग ठीक से करनी चाहिए. तो पहले अगर हमारे बच्चों को हम ये सिखाएं कि कॉन्शियस डेवलप करो, ऑलवेज स्टार्ट लिसनिंग टू योर परमात्मा, ऑलवेज स्टार्ट अंडरस्टैंडिंग राइट और रॉन्ग है, फिर आपको ये समझ आएगा कि मैं आई लव टू डू मेनी थिंग्स, आई लव टू इट अदर्स, बट इज दैट राइट? शुड आई डू दैट? इसलिए कॉन्शियस शुड बी द फर्स्ट थिंग. डज द वर्ल्ड नीड मी टू हिट अदर्स? Does the world need me to cheat? If you are Krishna, maybe the world needs you to cheat because there are cheaters in the Mahabharata war. So the world needs me to cheat so that I can make the right people, the Pandavas, win. Okay? So he has that vision because he knows his conscience is, of course, that's the supreme conscience. तो वो तो बिल्कुल perfect है ना, वो गलती कर ही नहीं सकती. तो इस तरीके से हमको इस सीक्वेंस में लेना चाहिए. पहले हमको डेवलप करना चाहिए राइट रॉन्ग कॉन्शियस क्या है, फिर हमको डेवलप करना चाहिए कि मेरा रोल क्या होगा, फिर हमें समझना चाहिए कि इस दुनिया में क्या चाहिए, मैं कर सकता हूँ कि नहीं. तो अभी आप जैसे करियर की बात करते हो, 3 इडियट्स की बात करो, द वर्ल्ड नीड्स लॉट्स ऑफ इंजीनियर्स, ऐसा हमारे इंडिया में बोला जाता है. अभी बहुत सारे इंजीनियर्स मिलने चाहिए, बहुत सारे पैसे मिलेंगे इंजीनियर्स को, लेकिन वो इंजीनियरिंग करने के लिए पहले तो रोध होके आईआईटी में घुस गए, बहुत मुश्किल से हार्डवर्क करके आईआईटी में घुसे हैं, फिर आईआईटी में बहुत स्ट्रगल है. सो मेनी पीपल कमिट सुसाइड आफ्टर ज्वाइनिंग आईआईटी बिकॉज इट्स सो हाई स्ट्रेस, यू नो, देयर सो मच ऑफ कंपटीशन. सो उधर अगर उनको वो कॉन्शियस होता कि मेरे को यहाँ पे स्ट्रेस से कैसे कोप करना है, मैं हूँ कौन, मेरा लार्जर पिक्चर क्या है, एक आध बार मैं फेल हो गया तो हो गया, लेकिन मैं करने क्या आया हूँ, यू नो, बड़ा पिक्चर, आपकी लाइफ का विजन मिशन आपको पता होना चाहिए. सो दिस इज माई अंडरस्टैंडिंग. व्हाट यू सेड इज ऑल्सो करेक्ट, इट्स सिमिलर. हम पहले इससे हमें ये नहीं जानना चाहिए कि व्हाट द वर्ल्ड नीड्स. We should go with what am I, what am I as a human being, what am I designed. Firstly, I am designed to do the right way of living. Secondly, I am designed to do some service contribution. Now let me find out what the world needs. What am I good at, can I put it to their use. Okay, so you may even be able to guess कि बहुत अच्छा है, I can put this to good use, but उसमें भी हम proud हो जाएंगे और हमको कुछ आता है, हम बहुत अच्छे हैं अपने से गेम पे, वी आर वेरी गुड एट आवर गेम, वी आर यू नो क्रिकेटर एंड द वर्ल्ड इज पेइंग मी अ लॉट, but I may not be happy with it because I have not made a contribution. So then what do? They start teaching others, they start using it for some benefit. आपको समझ आ रहा है मैं क्या, what am I going at? Like you need to know the higher principle. बट येस, दिस इज गुड व्हाट यू सेड कि जब भी मुझे कोई चॉइस करना है तो हम इस सीक्वेंस में जा सकते हैं कि वर्ल्ड को क्या चाहिए, मैं क्या कर सकता हूँ, मुझे अच्छा क्या लगता है, और हम जब डिसीजन लेंगे तो चारों को ओवरलैप करके लेंगे.
Yes, ma'am.
फाइन. सो इफ देयर आर एनी मोर क्वेश्चंस और एनीथिंग वी कैन ऑलवेज शेयर ऑन व्हाट्सएप, और ग्रुप पे डालेंगे तो एक दूसरे की वजह से बाकी लोग भी जो पढ़ रहे हैं दे माइट वांट टू नो अबाउट दिस. Okay. Sure. All right. Can we sign off now, Pranjal?
Yes, ma'am. So thank you everyone for attending. Hope that we have enjoyed. See you soon in the next meet.
Yes.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Bye. Bye.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Bye.